Tonight we're just going to do a real quick one pan chili mac. So it calls for 8 ounces. I only have the big can of tomato sauce, so we'll just use half and put the rest in the freezer. Can of chili beans, a can of diced tomatoes, some garlic, elbow macaroni, chili powder, cumin, black pepper, salt, onion, and a pound of ground beef. These are ground beef patties. My mom was going to make sloppy joes and then ended up not making it. And so I just brought that home. So we'll use that and then some cheese to top it that I have to grate. In here, so we've got the onions and the ground beef, and we're just going to break all this apart. But first I'm going to add in a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then we will add the other seasoning. The other thing I did forget was the beef broth. So we'll need beef broth in this also to cook the noodles. So I've gone ahead and drained the ground beef. We're going to add in some garlic. And we're going to go ahead and add in the cumin. About 1 teaspoon. I did add in some more smoked paprika just because we like it. Probably about a half teaspoon. 2 teaspoons chili powder. Go ahead and incorporate this just a little bit. And then we're going to add in a can of diced tomatoes. These are fire roasted. It's what I had on my shelf and it's what we like. A can of chili beans with sauce. Add it all in. I look at it this way. You'd be adding this in if you made chili, because it's the chili sauce that comes with it. Now add in about 8 ounces of tomato sauce, and as I told you, it's about half this can. There we go. It's about half. 1.5 cups of beef broth. And then we're going to add in 2 cups of pasta. And there's 2. We're going to bring this back up to a boil and then turn it down and let it simmer. Should be about 12 minutes, 12 to 14 minutes, however long it takes your pasta to cook. And it's been 12 minutes, and as you'll see, there is no really liquid left. And there's a lot of food here. So it called for 2 cups of cheese, so I went ahead and grated that entire bar. I don't know if he really needs 2 cups, but I might just be generous tonight. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to put half of it on here. I am going to be generous. We're going to mix it in. Turn my pan off. I don't need it. Is this hot enough? There we go. Give it a good stir. Incorporate all that melty goodness in there. Now, there's not that much left anyways. Take what's left and put it on. And then we'll just let this melt. And dinner's served. I'm probably just having this with some sourdough. All right. Thanks for joining me tonight. So tonight I'm just going to do something real simple. We're going to do chicken fajita bowls. And you could use a taco seasoning pack, a fajita seasoning pack, but I'm going to use my seasoning, my sazon Goya. I'm going to use chicken thighs. I've got onion, peppers. I'm going to grate up some cheese, and I'm just going to use some ready cilantro rice. Well, I cut into the one onion, and it was bad. So we're just going to make do. I've cut up the peppers just into pieces. I wasn't going to do this way, but we're going to make do with what we've got. I did have that half an onion, and I have it just diced. So I'm going to put that in the pan, and I'm going to cook the peppers and the onions down real quick, and then we'll add the chicken in. Okay, I've cooked the peppers and the onions down some. I've cut the chicken up into pieces, and I removed whatever big pieces of fat there were. I just used chicken thighs. It's what we prefer. You could use chicken tenders. You could use chicken breasts. And give this a little bit of a stir. And then we're going to start adding in all the spices. Okay, we're going to start with the packet of Sangoya. I just like it. It gives it just a flavor that I really like and we really enjoy. And this is oregano. Chili powder. Cumin. Smoked paprika. Regular paprika will work. This is just what we prefer. And as I said, a taco seasoning packet works as well. Onion powder, especially since I had to skimp on the onions. And garlic. And we're going to give that a stir. I have been making my own taco seasoning mix for so long, I can eyeball it. You can also make up a container of it and always have it on hand. Or just use the taco seasoning packet. I'll tell you though, you try it this way. Now, I will say this, the Siete taco seasoning is phenomenal. But this works really well this way. I've taken a bowl with some rice. And I'm just going to plop down a spoonful of this. My husband will probably use flour tortillas. I've shredded cheese. So I'm just going to throw some cheese on top. And probably a dollop of sour cream. And we're going to call this dinner. Thanks for joining me tonight. So this morning, and this could be a dinner also, I'm going to throw together, it is a mouthful. It is a cream cheese, hash brown, egg and sausage breakfast bake. It just sounded good, and this is why I didn't put sausage on the pizza, because we're having sausage in the breakfast casserole. So I've got eggs, and I am going to cut this recipe in half. We just don't need that much. I'm here till probably this evening, and then I'm going back to Mom's for 3 more days. So we've got eggs, cream cheese, hash browns, which we're only going to use half of, a pound of sausage. You know I don't do milk. My husband and I don't use it, so I keep evaporated milk on the shelf at all times. cheddar cheese. I just did a mild cheddar. It's what I had in my drawer to shred. Salt, pepper, and then I'm just going to do buttery garlic and herb seasoning. It called for onion powder and garlic powder, and that's got good flavor. I may throw a little bit of Cajun seasoning in just because. It also called for hot sausage, and I don't do spicy, so we're going to do that, and that's why I'm thinking as I'm talking that I'm going to throw some of the Cajun seasoning in. So I've cooked the sausage, and I really must not have paid attention to it when I bought it. It's medium heat. So I also forgot to soften the cream cheese, so I put it in the microwave. Turn this back on, and we're just going to get this all incorporated, and then we'll make the egg mixture. All right, I have the sausage over here. It's all well mixed. I went ahead and cracked 4 eggs. We're going to do 1 cup of evaporated milk. I'm going to eyeball it. That should be good. Have you seen that egg prices went back up? Oh, my Lord. I know we've got the bird flu again and everything, but $4 for a carton of eggs at Aldi's. Ooh. I remember eggs always used to be a cheap dinner. Not anymore. All right. Give this a good mix. And inside here, I'm actually going to cut out the salt. We're going to do the pepper, and we're going to do the buttery garlic and herb because that does have salt in it. And the sausage has salt. So I don't want to over salt this. I'd say about a teaspoon. And you just pepper to the amount of pepper you know you might like. All right. Okay, I am going to spray this. There it goes. I just don't want the hash browns to stick. I'm going to pour in half the hash browns. It called for shredded. I prefer these. So, and I'm definitely probably not using the amount it's calling for. We're going to add in the sausage mixture. Just going to dump it, and then we'll smush it into place. I do have my oven preheated for 350, and this is going to cook for an hour. You could also make this the night ahead. If you do and you put it in a casserole dish, be very careful. My best trick if you refrigerate a Pyrex is to put it in the oven when you're heating the oven up. You don't want to put that cold Pyrex into a hot oven. I know they've said that there's certain brand, if Pyrex, if it's spelled a certain way, we'll do that. I just say it's never a good idea to shock glass like that by putting cold from the refrigerator into the oven. But if you heat it up that way, I've never had a problem. Now, the next time I do it, I will. Usually if I'm going to do a make-ahead meal and I know I'm going to do it, I'll a lot of times go ahead and buy a aluminum foil pan and do it that way. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to put the cheese down. Now this was supposed to go into a 9x13 and I was supposed to double it. This is I think I've measured it once. It's like a 7x5 or something like that. This should be absolutely fine. Called for all this cheese. I just don't know. Leave some to the side. I can always add more on top. Get your egg mixture. And pour this. I like to drizzle it in so that way I know it goes everywhere. And I have a cat meowing at me. Both the cat and the dog got cheese when I shredded the cheese earlier. He's now jumping. I can hear him. He's now using his lead feet and jumping from the washer to the dryer that's in the back of my kitchen. Oh, the joys of animals. All right. That's it. We're going to put this in the oven for about, it says 50 minutes. I'm going to check it at about 30 because we did cut it in half. And it's all finished. It did take about 30 minutes.